What up, TikTok? Hey, hope everybody's having a great Friday. Hey, don't let anything that's negative in your life dictate the rest of your life. Does that make sense? Hey, we all go through some hard times. We all go through some emotional stressors, maybe at work, maybe at home, whatever it may be. Don't let that dictate who you are and how you react to the rest of the things that life throws at you. Does that make sense? Like if you're feeling pissed off and angry all morning or all day, you're going to take that energy and you're going to present it to everybody else that surrounds you, your loved ones, your soldiers, whoever it may be. You're going to use that negative energy and it's just going to make everything worse. Try to be positive. Pick something positive in life that's going really well. Use that positive energy and let that dictate the rest of your day. We can harp on the negatives. We can harp on the bad things that are going on in life. It's not going to help us. It's not going to help us move forward. Stay strong, keep pushing, drive on. Happy Friday.
What's up, Trash Talkers? Hitting you up this morning with a special promo on how to dress when you are doing PT in civilians, but you want everybody to know you're an Army. This comes from the Buddy Beckwith fashion design of how to work out. So first, you can notice the RI panties. Not Ranger panties, but Ranger instructor panties. The green socks, the knee brace for the old guys. Don't forget the M frames. Now the shirt, don't wear the Trash Talk shirt while you're running. This is just for the promo. You want to put on like an 80-second shirt or like your favorite airborne shirt so everybody knows that you're a veteran. That's the most important thing. And you start with this stretch. Buddy Beckwith taught me this one. Ready to go.
So, I'm walking out of the gas station and my co-worker, who's an old MP, but we still claim him, and has engaged the man in conversation. Not much for conversation with strangers, but he's got the tab. So, as I walk by, I say airborne, and the man responds with, and I quote, "Hoorah." So, after I instructed my co-worker to slash every single tire before he put the car in gear, I looked for the biggest rock. As I crow hop to throw it through his back window so he can stop posing as one of us, I actually wake up and realize that the man's ignorance had incapacitated me for a moment, and I was daydreaming. I mean, because in that moment you got two options. I chose the third option and said, "Incorrect. That's an incorrect response." And I kept walking. The man said nothing and he pulled away. So you tell me, what is it, a stolen valor thing? No Marine's gonna have an airborne tab, and no paratrooper's gonna say an hoorah. So you tell me, stolen valor?
Hey, y'all, I'm going to work. I left you a note on the refrigerator. I love y'all. I'm gonna go.
Hey, go get dressed. Get ready for school.
You're doing great. We're just tooling along. Shit! Bad guys! Stop!
Let me break it down Barney style.
This is the Veteran Trash Talk Hour, hosted by Nick, Dave, Joe, and Buddy. Real warriors making fun of other real warriors. Try to not get triggered.
Today's show is brought to you by the Farkas Group at the Veterans Mortgage Source. Are you looking for a team you can trust for your mortgage needs? The Farkas Group is our trusted partner on the podcast. I serve with Zach, and he will definitely give you the best rate possible. Their goal is to educate veterans across the country on their earned VA home loan benefit. If you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, reach out to these guys for competitive rates or any information you may need on obtaining a VA mortgage for your property. They are licensed in multiple states. If they are not licensed in the state that you live in, they will still give you the advice that you need and the rates you should be looking for.
A city boy.
Hey, what's up, Trash Talkers? What's going on, Gruntworks Nation, and anybody else watching who we don't know who you are? Welcome. Anyways, this
Unless
is
you're
gonna be
Russia.
unless you're Russia,
Not welcome if you're
because the
Russia.
news tells me I have to hate Russia now.
Yeah.
And apparently, if I study any type of history other than Ukraine is the greatest country in the world, I now support Putin. So, we right away the dumpster fire starts, and we are now off on a tangent. Before I even got to say hi to all of you and welcome our guest, Carrie Beavers, the CEO of Soldier Girl Coffee, and with us is Trigger Joe, Buddy Beckwith, and the Pacific Tita. All right, Len, so otherwise known as VTT's Pacific Tita, and the host of Throat Punch Mondays, which is jumped to number 2 on our downloaded podcast platform. So they are moving up the ranks.
Bang, bang.
Yeah, pretty much moved Stone Vet out of the picture. He's gone. Like, so yeah, we might have to fire him, but at least his wife show is kicking ass. So that's a fun one. Now, oh, look at the Stone Vet's on. There you go. So
speaking of one.
Yeah, speaking of which, yeah.
Looks like summer.
You didn't mean anything we said.
Yeah, hey, Juan, how's 5th place? All right, how does that taste? Anyways,
I didn't know they made 5th place ribbons, Greg.
Hell yeah, you get paid. The hell you get paid for 10th.
Well, yeah, no, and he's off on this tangent recently about how he can't smoke weed because of his job, so he just has to get drunk.
Oh yeah, that's terrible.
That's not how it works, but I don't make excuses. I just drink. But it's like, it tastes good. Sorry, not sorry. Okay, what were we going to talk about? Yeah, it's pretty easy.
Intro.
Yeah, the intro. Now, Dave is not here. Don't know what he's doing. Maybe he went to Ukraine. I mean, you know, he speaks 12 languages. He could be fighting over there. Nobody knows. He could be fighting on the Russian side. Like,
you never know.
You never know with Dave. Wild card. But I know we're not going to do a conspiracy today. But we will recognize its significance, and Joel will get into it a little bit here in a second. But March 5th is a hard day for us 2 505 guys, us paratroopers that were in Samara, because, you know, we lost. It was a pretty horrific day for us, and we lost some good friends, some good buddies. You'll see their picture up on the screen. One of those guys in there. You know, I've talked about, if you watch our Memorial Day episode, I've covered him every time because Dutch saved my life, and you know, he's no longer with us. And then, you know, like Rollins, I did my first shoot shakeout detail with him, and he taught me how to sham like a true specialist. Went up a couple flights of stairs, and there's a little closet, and I had to get in the closet with a guy, but we didn't have to shake any shoots. Right? Like it is what it is. But we talk about this on Memorial Day. Like I said, Joe will hit it later. Like I like to celebrate days like this. I like to, you know, this is just me. I like to, you know, have a nice steak. You know, enjoy some, you know, some good whiskey from 10th Mountain, all right, and you know, just have a good time. I remember when I was in Florida, stationed in Florida with Ed Lee. You know, Ed Lee would come over and we grill steaks. Anytime I can connect with a paratrooper when I'm around them on this day, I try to, and just try to, you know, hang out. Here's what I ask people not to do, because everybody has these days that they've lost their loved ones, their battle buddies, their sons, their daughters. That be an ambassador to the veteran community. All right. Don't be a triggered pansy, like the Book of Rules says. All right. If like, of course, unless it's a friend or somebody in the military wants to treat you like shit on a day like this, yeah, then punch them in the face. Right. But that, like, if they don't understand it, but when somebody's asking you like, what's wrong, or why are we celebrating this? What are you doing? All right. They're not supposed to understand you. They don't know why you're in a bad mood. All right. So don't be a dick about it. All right. Honor the lives, honor what those men and women have sacrificed. And that's, like I said, for me, it's celebrating. If you want to do something else, like, I'm just asking you to not give every veteran a black eye by being a dickhead because you're in a bad mood. All right. Because again, it's tough, and we all deal with it in different ways. Nobody's telling you how to deal. I'm just asking you not to deal with it to the where you're mean to people who have no clue what we're talking about, no clue what you're feeling, and they're not supposed to have a clue. All right, but just maybe you can give them a little bit of taste if you're sincere and they trust you. So, other than that, hey, that's what March 5th is to us. Like I said, we lost some of our battle buddies, and like I said, Joe's gonna talk about it. And so let's get this show on the road.
Yeah, no, you know, Nick already kind of covered the first, you know, couple of sentences I wrote down, but I find it therapeutic to write, and Nick says, celebrate. I say, today I'm grateful. I'm grateful I got to work with these guys. I'm grateful that I'm thankful that that I got to experience serving with some of these dudes who I thought so highly of. And so I'd like to say what I wrote from us, from all of us back here to you, to our brothers. Not a day goes by that we don't think about you guys at least once. We'll continue to make sure that you boys do not go out with a whisper. While there's breath in my body, I'll share your extraordinary story of courage and sacrifice. You will not be forgotten. With each step we take forward with VTT, we strive to honor your memory, you absolute warriors. Thank you for the time we had together, but mainly thank you for my life. Thank you for the chances I've had to watch my children come into this world. Thank you for the day I got to marry the love of my life. And thank you for the chance I got to make a family and make a difference in this world. I love you, boys. I always will. And as long as I can speak your story, it will be told. Rest easy, my brothers. And I love you. That was it. Just short and sweet and to the point. That's how
Well, all right then. There you have
letter.
it. Yeah, nice letter. Buddy.
Yeah.
What say you?
You talked about Rollins and so Rollins wasn't there when I was in Charlie Company. He got there right as I was leaving to go to Korea, and then I came back and went to Bravo Company. But Stan and I were in the same platoon together before I left to go to Korea. And then when I came back, I came back to the same battalion. I was just in, a different company. Anyway, I still remember. I can't remember exactly what we said. I can't remember the words that we said at all when we were leaving the battalion footprint to deploy when you guys went down to Samara and we went up to vacation and to Crit.
Yeah, with salsa night.
Yeah. Salsa night and karaoke.
Surf and turf.
Karaoke was a big deal.
Yeah.
Not a lot of surf and turf. We'll discuss that in a minute. But anyway, but what I will always remember was, like, we didn't see each other after this, but the one thing that I always remember was we were walking up that little hill out of the backside where all the company coughs were, going up to the buses, and I was like, "Hey, Stan, like see you later," or whatever. Or I talked some shit to him, something, and but he looked over and gave me that Stan smile, and I will always remember that face. I always remember that smile. And Joe kind of touched on it when he was talking about being grateful for those guys. For you guys, March 5th was a bad day. For us, March 5th was a bad day, followed by March 14th when Dan got blown up. But the thing that, not only am I grateful that I got all of that other stuff, but the thing that we should also look and be grateful for is that those guys all gave us the opportunity to see how short life is and how fleeting and quick it can be done, and should be able to have given us an example of how to, first of all, live our lives, and then B, make opportunities. Like, if you're just sitting on the couch feeling sorry for yourself, go spend some time with your kid, go build something, go, enjoy the moments that you have, because just because we were, you could be in a car and die. You can roll out of bed and die. You know what I mean? And what's left behind are the smiles from your face. They're the memories that you left with the other people that are still around. So, be grateful for the opportunity to learn to enjoy the times that you do have. I think that's a pretty big lesson that we should all take from all of those guys.
Yeah. Buddy, you said something when we talked about this, I think on Memorial Day, that always stuck with me was, some people kind of grind life out over a 85-year period, some people just burn it to the ground in 27 years.
Yep. True.
And some people come in and go out, with a bang and quickly. But maybe, and I think you said, like, maybe that was the way they had to do it. Maybe that was what they were meant to do in their mind. And that's, they wouldn't have traded places with anybody. So,
yeah. And we talked about it before, but one of my old medic died in a car wreck last September. And when we were at his memorial, this guy came up, civilian, and was wanting to talk about the military, talk about Carl, and he thought that the guy, Carl, was my age. And I was like, no, Carl was 33 years old. And he was like, oh my God, that's so sad. He was so young. And I was like, I literally physically took a step back, and I was like, hey man, like, the fact is, in 33 years, that guy was a father, a husband, and a special forces medic, an intelligence guy before he was a special forces medic, a linguist, and he was in school. Like, he was becoming a doctor. You could live another 60 years. You're never going to catch up. Like, right. He lived his life, and he, just like we said, he burnt it down, So you can live 80 years sleeping in a bed, or you can live 30. To quote the movie Platoon, everybody got to die sometime, Rib.
Yeah, that's the reason I'm in the Army. The old Tom Berenger. I just wanted to shoot my own guys.
Do you want to die in your bed safe, or do you want to die with your boys, keeping them safe? You get your choice.
Yeah, I have to agree like 100% with that, especially the mindset of when you waste the day, because we all do it. All right. And so before anybody drops the hypocrite card, I waste days, like, all the time, and it's like, you sit there and like, what the hell did I do today? I didn't do shit. Right. And then when people ask you, well, how can you accomplish all this? Because I have that mentality of where if I don't do something during the day, I feel like a jackass.
Yeah.
And part of that is that, which we don't ever really talk about, is, inside me knowing what I've experienced and what my battle buddies can't experience anymore. What can't they do? Right. Going over to third world countries and seeing the opportunities that those kids have, which is fucking none. Okay.
None. Yeah. How much happier are they?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Give them a fucking stick.
Give them a water bottle and a stick. And those kids are, you might as well give them a PlayStation 5.
Right. Right. And so, again, we don't have to feel sorry for, being of privilege or being in America. It's like, that's not what I don't think anybody's trying to say at all. But it's like, just if you don't have respect for what you got going on and how much you can actually accomplish, then don't complain when you don't accomplish anything. Right. Because you're not trying. Right. You're not getting off the game. But it's actually a decent segue into our guest, who definitely has been trying and has definitely got out of her comfort zone and is absolutely killing it, and doing great things. Before that, again, if you're first time watching, all right, we're Veteran Trash Talk, and now, with Gruntworks as well, that, our whole mission is to build up and promote as many veterans as we can. Right. And if we help one person today, if Carrie sells one more bag of coffee today, hey, then we did our job, right? And it's just, it's just awesome to see when people go out and do it and get it. And we do have partners, we do have sponsors. We have Veterans Mortgage Source, Zach Farkas. Go on VeteranTrashTalk.com and click on his name if you need any mortgage advice or loan advice. And then 10th Mountain Bourbon and Whiskey, good stuff. So make sure you check them out, because they support our mission as well, and they help make all of this possible. Especially with the new keyboard that Chris has, our fake Asian in the background. He's got the largest expenditure in Veteran Trash Talk history of $699. Don't break it, Chris, or I'll come over and break your arm. Okay, but see, yeah, the buttons. Yeah,
hey, Godspeed.
Yeah. So Carrie, I said this joke during the fight show earlier today. I was like, when we booked her a couple months ago, she flaked out. and we weren't quite sure why. And then as I read her bio, I understood. She went to an airborne unit, like probably the greatest base on the planet, and she put on a red beret. But Carrie, were you airborne qualified?
No.
No. See, so like that's
fashion faux pas.
Yeah.
I deserve it. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's where I could see why she was nervous to come on with the paratroopers, and then of course when you got like I didn't tell her Len was coming on because the Len, you're submariner, right, Len?
No, Navy, just regular surface ship.
Everybody,
aircraft carrier.
Okay, first of all, Lynn, everyone in the Navy is a submariner.
Submariner, yeah, that's a cool job.
Oh, okay.
Everyone. So, like,
thanks for educating me about the Navy. I appreciate that.
Ruining it for us. Like, everyone spends time in a submarine.
Aircraft carrier.
Yeah, you flew F-15s off aircraft carriers.
18s.
18s. F-15s.
There's literally 4 jobs in the Navy. There's aircraft carrier guy that gives the little when they fly. There's pilot, there's SEAL, and then there's the guy that's steering the sub.
The steering the sub.
Yeah.
The sub.
Or launching the torpedo.
Which also, by the way, apparently has a steering wheel. As I showed you. Yeah.
So, all right. Well, Carrie.
Russians.
Soldier Girl Coffee. So like I said, we're like, hey, we need to promote her. We need to help her out because she was kind of hanging out with Juan, who we've already covered. He's 5th place. You don't want to hang out with guys in 5th place, right? And like, you gotta surround yourself with winners. So we get you on the show. But turns out, in the time that we've been waiting to talk to you, you have become extremely more popular than we are, right? So maybe, just maybe, you could promote us. All right, because that's why we got you on the show now, because you're a star. I think we had like 200 people say interested in the event within like 3 days. So, cool. It's a pleasure having you on. Tell us a little bit about your service, why you wish you would have been airborne, and then and then get into the Soldier Girl Coffee and all of the things that are happening now with it, like NASCAR and all that great stuff. So, all
right,
the floor is yours, Carrie.
I would add that I would have been airborne, but they denied me because they said I was anemic, and I wasn't. So whatever.
Hey, don't worry. You know who else
did that happen in Apollo 13?
Yeah, you know who else they denied? That was oh my God, the Audie Murphy. Audie Murphy. Yeah,
Audie Murphy.
Either too short.
Yeah.
Hey, I tried. Okay, skip that part. So I joined the Army in 1991. You're gonna like this. I joined as a cook because I didn't really care what job I had, so I just picked it, and they kind of pushed it on me. I was like, okay.
I was wanting to go fight Saddam.
91. That's around Desert Storm. Huh?
Yeah, it was during the.
We had a cook. We had a cook overseas that we swore went in to be an infantryman, and they said after the interview, "There's no fucking way we're handing him a spatula." No, I'm not saying that happened to you, but we did have a cook like that. Do you remember that guy?
That's funny. Oh my God. So I ended up I was 18 when I joined, ended up going to Germany, and like the war was going on and all that. So, but I didn't have to go anywhere, and I stayed there for 2 years. And I got out of the Army. I got out for 4 months and went in the Army Reserves. And that's where I got the beret. And I was a leg. Anyway, I'll admit it. But it was 91. It's before cell phones. I mean, then was like 94.
Before like
cell
CDs.
phones. If I have a good picture, I want to get pictures. I've only got like 3 pictures.
Still beta. You guys have VHS?
Did you type in DOS or Win to get on the Windows?
I only have like 3 or 4 pictures from the Army. Shit.
You think when 8-track tapes went out?
Yeah.
And that was a good one.
Did you cry? Oh. Okay. They got rid of 8 tracks. No.
I have 8 tracks.
Actually, super happy. I'm super happy that Carrie's on the show for one main reason is that I don't get to get clowned on for being like, you came in 1998. I was in kindergarten.
Hey, Buddy was a staff sergeant in 98. So
Buddy did say at a party, "What you think of Melba Toast here?"
Carrie, what made you want to start Soldier Girl Coffee? Tell us about that.
All right, you want me to skip the rest?
No, you don't have to.
No, you don't have to.
We can talk about
Yeah,
it
we
in
got
circles.
time. We got time.
Lynn's just trying to
Okay.
Lynn's just trying to help you get out of the
Yeah, that's
The shower.
trash talk.
Yeah.
Yeah, the dumpster fire that it turned
Yeah,
into.
she's trying to throw
Sorry.
you a. She's in
Throw
the
a wet
Navy.
blanket
They
on
throw a
the fire.
lifeline.
My butterflies are on fire, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's good. I need that. Okay, so 2019, I decided to put a claim in with the coaxing of a VSO to keep asking me if I want to put the claim in. I said no. So I finally put a claim in for PTSD related to MST. And so when I wrote everything down on paper, that's when I started getting, I didn't know like my life was going to go downward.
Yeah, that's no, you're okay.
All right,
Carrie.
take your time.
And then those of you watching too, with Carrie, and again, it's tremendous courage to do what, especially we talked about a pre-show how I didn't even think about like how women veterans were going to respond to veteran trash talk when we started it.
We
Like,
really had
and
no idea.
it wasn't because I'm a sexist or anything. I just didn't think about it because just like when I was in the army, I didn't see any women except for like sometimes a medic, right? Like or like a JAG officer or something like that. Like I didn't see them. So when they started talking about PTSD from MST, I was like, well, wait a minute, let's open this discussion. And when we do it, it's hard because you got women like, Len shared her story, Carrie sharing hers now, Leah shared her story. We've had other people come out and share their story. And it's like, guess what nobody wants to do? Listen to it. All right. Nobody wants to listen to that. It's not fun. It's not comfortable. It's, it's like, why would I want to start my Saturday off and listen to this? So again, the reason why we want you to listen to it is because these people are brave enough to talk about it.
The hard
All right,
conversation.
It's being strong enough to talk about it too.
Right.
Also, you don't know who else is struggling with the same thing. Like for me, when I first joined VTT family, I wasn't even part of the group yet. And I noticed that the Veteran Trash Talk family really welcomed women and treated us like their peers. And that's one thing that sets VTT apart. And I'll say this over and over again. And I remember I had conversations with Joe over and over again, like, VTT treats us like sisters, definitely like family. And they give you that comfort zone. And then especially like Carrie, you don't have to tell your entire story. You know what I mean? Like you could just touch on bits and parts of it, but just to know that there's other women out there who also experience the same thing, it gives people strength. So for me, that's what keeps me going. It gives other people strength because believe it or not, 1 out of every 3 women in the military experience MST. And that's ridiculous. So just know that you're not alone. It's very difficult to talk about. I didn't do my PTSD claim until 2019 either. So I'm right there with you. So
as far as the male perspective on that, like Nick's not wrong. It's not that nobody wants to listen. It's hard. It's hard to listen, and it's hard to put yourself in a position where you're thinking, I really wish that I could have done something then, or how would I have reacted if a soldier in my unit had done A, B, and C? Like the funny thing is that, you'll never find a more foul-mouthed, worse type of human person than an infantryman until a woman comes around.
Yeah.
And then we're generally so scared to death, and we don't see women very often anyway, that we're just like, okay, don't scare her off. Don't scare her off. Like we like to we just want to, like, she smells like not like an old fart like all of us, but at the end of the day, it's hard to listen, but you have to. You've got to listen so that you can understand what what you guys are going through, and then try to prevent it, and then be able to explain to younger guys like, hey, look, just because there's a girl in your platoon or a girl in your squad or a girl in your section doesn't mean that you have the right to touch or do anything to this person. She is your sister, not your
Yeah, it doesn't make her any
girlfriend.
less. She's
Yeah.
your peer.
Yeah, but
She's there to work just like you, you know?
Right. Yeah.
and that's the key, just like you.
What frustrated me the most? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Joe. You didn't say anything in a while.
Well, that was the thing that like Nick, to touch on what Nick was saying, that threw us off in the beginning so much is that when females were around us, we prided ourselves. We were a bunch of, like Buddy says, we were a bunch of jackasses and goofballs when the doors were closed. But when we were out and around other units, we prided ourselves as being professionals. And we had a first sergeant that would have your ass if you stepped out of line with a female soldier around. And we, first of all, we knew that, so we had good leadership, which is paramount in this situation. And second of all, we prided ourselves on being good human beings and professionals. And I remember Good Soldier, Nick?
Yep.
Female soldier.
That's one of the greatest stories in the Army.
Her last name was Good Soldier. The city would not allow men to search their females, so we got a female attached to us for the first time in Iraq. It had never happened.
6'9"
Cav. Nick was to watch to stay with her and kind of keep a close eye on her, and kind of they were to stay together. They sent her to Nick with dummy rounds for her 203 to go outside the wire. And Nick, I'll let you finish what happened there. But when we found out she had dummy rounds, Nick, it was like they were sending her out there like, here, go get your stripes, kid. But if the ship hops off, you're useless. So we'll just give you this.
So that's what this spins off to.
So Nick, I'll let you finish how that happened.
It spins off into the whole genre of, like, you know, Buddy always talks about, like, where's the unit level leadership here? All right, everybody wants to go after the general's head. Everybody wants to go after the base commander's head, or whatever. Where's the E5? Right? Where's the team leader that spot checked Good Soldier and said, okay, go over with these 82nd guys that are about to go on an air assault, one of the most dangerous cities on the planet. You know, like, let's make sure you have everything. Right. And when she came to me, right, I was like, of course, right away, I don't know I'm gonna have to babysit a girl, right, on this mission at all until like 10 minutes prior to, like, we're gonna go start doing it. It's like, hey, she's here to, you're gonna watch her. All right. And I was like, okay, so I do what I thought a sergeant would do before you go out on a mission, because I was a sergeant. I was like, let me check your gear. All right. And so I start going through all of it, and I'm like, these are fucking dummy rounds, you know? And she's like, this is what they gave me. I'm like, you do know where we're going, right? She's like, no.
Oh, wow.
I guess I just got to.
Just because she's a woman, she can't have regular.
You know, and I was like,
keep in mind, and to clarify,
it's just how bad her
babysat
leadership
a group full
was.
of majors and E6s before. So when Nick says babysit, we use that term with the MIT team that came over of majors and E6s. So he's not saying babysit because she's a girl. He's saying babysit because it's a term we used.
Yeah,
and she was
full
ready.
Security for us. You know,
she
like,
just wanted to work.
She was a vital asset to the mission. Like,
set her up for failure.
You know, she was going to help us win the fight because, you know, we can keep a neighborhood cool when there's women touching other women, right? And then the men don't get all pissy, and then all of a sudden you got all this other stuff going on. So she's a vital asset to this mission going smoothly, right? So that's why you had somebody to babysit, make sure don't lose the asset, right? So it's like, I start giving her, I go get more rounds, and I'm giving her more rounds. I'm giving her 5.56, right? Like, you know, yada, yada, yada. And then she's like, what's that on your face? And I was like, it's camouflage. Do you want some? She was like, yes.
And I remember it like it was yesterday, dude.
And I started marking her up, like, let's do this. Yeah, like, you know, but again, the leadership is where that failed her. And then, like, when I talked to when I talked to Leah about her experience, like, my legs were going 1,000 miles an hour under the table. Like, I want to destroy this person that she's talking about. Like, I literally would go to jail for the rest of my life. Right. Just
and that's
because,
what's sad.
Yeah.
Right. That's what's sad. Up until recently, I think they just passed something about when sexual assault or a crime happens in the military, it has to be taken to a different level instead of within leadership. And so within leadership, it used to be they swept it, not needed, but they would sweep it under the rug and then just treat you like you're nobody or ostracize you and then make you feel the bad guy, like you're the bad guy, you know, and that was a problem. And that was an issue back then. And I'm hoping that today that things are starting to turn around and that's not that way anymore. You know, we have leaders now who are well-versed or trained in into this certain situation. So
Right, and you're never going to have the full solution, right? Because you're just it's the Army's too big, the DoD's too big to just have perfect leaders everywhere, right? You're gonna have crap. But here's the thing: when we had our guest on from NeuroFlow, and then she was also on the Throat Punch Mondays as well, and she was talking about when she was at West Point and how it was, where they got their branch days, and an upperclassman comes into their room and says, "You girls need to lock your door tonight."
Yeah.
And they're like, why? Because they have the whole honor code there. You like everything. He's like, oh, because it's branch night and you'll probably get raped. Like, wait,
just
what?
matter of factly, like, by the way,
like how is that even a statement?
Mm-hmm.
Like what? So again, if you wonder why there's trash officers somewhere, well, there you go, right?
Because that person that made that statement that was like warning them,
probably a colonel now.
It's probably a felon.
Yeah, like unbelievable. So again, you always watch your own foxhole, and you make sure the people around you are good. It's hard to do more than that, but you can try. Again, if you're putting up with it, and I had to learn that as I grew up in the military as a leader, to where, yeah, that joke is funny, okay, but not here, right? Not in front of them. I'm not going to lie and say it wasn't funny, right? Because sometimes they are, okay, but does it do your mission any good? Does it do your camaraderie any good, or is it making it worse, right? Is it making your morale worse? Is it making people not trust other people, right? All that kind of stuff. That's what the burden of a leader is. Just because you get promoted, all right, you're now a leader by position. You're not a leader by character, right? The character is what is the good thing is about character is you can build it, right? And you can master the craft of some things and just you self-identify. But yeah, Carrie, when I was reading your bio, it kind of reminded me of the lady from NeuroFlow. I don't want to say her name unless she wanted me to, but when she was talking about how at night she woke up with somebody over her.
Yeah, I told my story. I mean, it has inspired a lot of people, and that's why I just keep telling it, because it does help other women, and I've helped another women
men too.
Oh yeah, sorry, men too. That's a problem. And I've helped them file their claims and get 100% total and permanent. And it just helps a lot. But I feel everybody's got their story. I feel mine is unique because I just, you go through basic training and you get all that. It was during the war and there were no stress cards. There was in 91. So it was,
buddy brought in stress cards.
There were anyway, so I got brainwashed in basic training that your leadership is, you're supposed to trust them and, all this stuff, right? Teamwork, blah, blah, blah. And then I get through AIT, my schooling, which is kind of like basic training still. So I get to the last night of that and we're supposed to go home for like a 2-week break before we go to our first duty station. And so when I think back on it being older, I'm always like, how could he be so brazen to walk in a full bay,
Yeah, it's tough. And for those of you, Carrie, if you don't mind me, saying it about what you wrote. Yeah,
sorry.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry.
So I was on the top bunk in PTs because we'd get yelled at if our bed wasn't perfect in the morning, and I don't want to deal with that shit. So I just slept on top of the blankets.
Yep.
And I was scared 18-year-old. Like I wouldn't look at a drill sergeant a different way. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, he's hot, or I was scared to death, like, of them. And, to wake up with that hand running up my leg.
Carrie, there's two comments on Veteran Trash Talk right now that say keep up the good work, Carrie, and then keep telling your story. So I mean, there's already people on Veteran Trash Talk that are very receptive to it, and I'm thank you for having the guts to come on. You take your time and do you. I really appreciate the courage that you're exhibiting.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't tell the whole story, but I tell enough to know that when, it changed me forever. And I didn't know I got PTSD that night. So I was pretty much living through it. and not really, and I was in denial that I even had it for like 30 years.
Sorry, Carrie. I don't want to take away from you, but I was in denial for a long time that I had PTSD.
And like Dr. Gadd said, you know, who wrote the Wounding Warriors, like, you know, he says, like, you know,
Sometimes I can tell it without crying. I don't know how to cry.
that's okay.
No, it's okay.
You know,
I'm giving you virtual hugs.
Yeah, PTSD, that could probably help some people too. Like what Len just said is, everybody just wants to blanket the term PTSD, but there's many different aspects of PTSD and different causes. And, you know, in the denial, you're not alone. Len just said, I was in denial that I had anger management issues and, you know, all this kind of stuff from PTSD. And it literally took something that was pretty bad to happen for me to be like, yeah, okay, time for me to go talk to somebody. Right. Like, and that's not nearly as bad as, you know, as a trauma to somebody, like, but, you know, again, yeah, the denial is real for anybody out there listening. And if you don't, whatever you're struggling with, if you don't, like we always say, get the demon out. If you don't get it out, right, and talk about it, then you're going to fight it the rest of your life.
You know, there's a thing that a lot of people don't recognize or point out either. For us, like we went to combat, we got shot at people, things blew up. We expected it. We knew we were going there. We knew what we were going to do, and we were trained to do it. There's a whole different level of trauma when you think you're in a safe place and you think that the people around you are safe, and you let your guard down because you're fucking safe, and then you find out you're not. That's a whole different compounded stack of trauma that, you know, we don't even like kind of wrap our heads around, because, you know, we deal with our stuff, but again, our stuff, you know, we knew what we were trying to do. We knew the game. The game was kill us or we kill you, you know.
Yeah, 18, I thought I was totally safe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was naive as hell, but yeah.
You should have been. That's the problem.
You should have been. That's the problem. You
You
should have had trust. You should have had faith.
You're supposed to trust your leadership.
Especially drill sergeants, you know, you're supposed to, you know, and yeah, just, yeah.
But I have to tell that because that's, you know, it has a lot to do with why I started the business. So
yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, is when did it turn? When did that become a spark? When did that become, I'm going to start dominating and I'm going to start doing something that's awesome? Like, when did that happen?
Well, starting since so I put the claim in, and, you know, I wasn't doing well and suicidal a few times. I reached out to veteran groups online and for support, and I didn't realize how bad the problem of veteran suicide was. I knew it was a problem, but I didn't have any idea until I got in these groups and hearing other veterans every day saying they want to kill themselves or off themselves, or they don't want to live, or so just starting to listen to them, and got with a veteran crisis squad that helped, so I could help them. It just started helping me heal. So
that's how I feel like helping others helps me too.
So then I kept thinking, like, well, I can't make a difference as one person, you know, this problem is too big, like, but I was sitting there, I'm like, well, I'm just going to try, you know, because I can't just sit here and do nothing.
But you make the size dent you can make with what you have, and, you know, it takes guts to take your shot, and a lot of hard work too. So don't sell yourself short.
Yeah, I mean, even though you weren't airborne, you still have done a lot more than
I'm never gonna live that down.
Most legs, right? So, like, I mean, how many legs have started a company? Not many.
I'm surprised you haven't made fun of beavers yet. I'm surprised you didn't go there.
Well, yeah, that would kind of go down the opposite road of what we were talking about, and how professionalism and sometimes the joke, maybe, although funny, like, it's just not going to get said right now.
Yeah, I hear you. I know I'm throwing it all together, but
I know too many people with that last name, believe it or not. I've told all the jokes I can tell in one lifetime about that last name. I worked around one. I've got one in my family, so it's.
I mean, they build dams. I don't know what you guys are talking about. So
Exactly, they're a real nuisance on the waterway. That's all I'll say.
Carrie, I
So-
actually found you on a different veteran group for women's, and I actually reached out to you on there because you were kind of vocal on there, helping others too. So that's what I really admired about you, and you own your own business.
Thank you.
So, yeah.
I don't know who I'm annoying because I send that shit out. I'm just trying to get it.
Keep
But,
sending it.
just straight hustling. That's all.
Mhm.
Yeah. So networking, so after I did that, I also found a group on Facebook that like a marketing business mastermind class that a veteran taught, and having like the encouragement of them kind of cheering me on about saying, why don't you start your own business? Because I'm not going to really mention, I used to sell coffee for somebody else, and, and I'm not going to go into that and give them props at all. So they were encouraging me to, go on my own, do it. And I was like, I don't know. And then just the veterans like pushing me, that team or whatever. And luckily I was able to network with other veterans, the veteran that had the CBD coffee idea. And then I thought, wow, that's another tool I can help use for veterans, the PTSD.
Hold up. Well, stop for a second. What'd you say was in that coffee though?
It's CBD, but it's THC free.
Oh.
No THC.
We all have
What-
DD214s. They're looking for something else.
Yeah. I actually got prescribed weed in the army, so winning.
That's
Right,
all right.
so-
I'll take care of the THC part. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Networking.
I mean,
Yeah.
that might be a little bit. That might be a
Fine.
little bit too much. Coffee and THC.
So
all
what
the-
if you just took a hit and blew it into the bag of coffee? Would that work?
I'm just saying.
Does that work?
Aren't those
Yeah.
conflicting ideologies at some point? Coffee and THC.
If I rubbed the plant and if I grinded a bud into the bean, would that work? I'm just trying to figure out how to get a pickup and a letdown at the same time.
I can't give away.
Doesn't that just cancel out?
You can't give away any trade secrets.
Yeah. But okay, so talk us through the hard stuff and the fun stuff about being an entrepreneur, and then like what was it like to get that first call to where like you knew that something was going to happen? Even if it makes sense, am I leading you in the right way? Like, when was the first time you got a call where like this is going to happen? Like it's going down. Like talk us through that a little bit.
Well, the thing is being an entrepreneur is a roller coaster because it's up and down all the time, and you never know when. You don't know what's going to happen. I've had many moments where I was like, that's God doing this, like, oh my God, just spiritual stuff like that's God. And just like, I can't believe this is happening to me. It's so big. And I wouldn't say Discovery Channel was not the first, because I've had many for the smaller ones, you know what I mean? So I can't really remember the first, but
What was the most
Just
exciting one? You got to think
Discovery
of one.
Channel?
Yeah, she's all over the place. She's way cooler than us.
On the TV Discovery Channel?
Yeah, she sponsors
What's that
NASCAR
about?
for crying out loud.
Yeah, so
well, yeah, actually sponsored NASCAR was pretty.
I live like an hour and a half from NASCAR or Daytona at least.
Yeah, from NASCAR. You don't
No,
live from
buddy,
NASCAR.
buddy, in the time,
I mean, from Daytona.
buddy, in the
Seeing my
time we
little
booked
sticker in
her,
the
she went
window.
from guest to potential investor.
Yeah. Well, I
What
don't like
potential
to bust the guest bubbles all the time, but in Alabama, everybody's got nice cars.
Hey, well,
Not a big deal.
we put a cool
Don't
song
you have,
to
don't
it.
you have like a Nissan?
Yeah, it's a nice car.
Yeah.
Nice car.
It works.
Oh my God. Oh, so definitely getting the chance told that I could do a Discovery commercial is probably one of the best ones, because I, in some way, was going to put out, be able to help people, but they didn't like my combat. They didn't like the girls on the tanks and shit. Okay, they didn't like that. And
Discovery Channel did?
well, it's probably just the video making of it too. I don't know. It was kind of cheaper.
No, it's not the image they're trying to sell.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, what kind of
women-
image did they
women
want?
don't fight. Come on.
So
I mean, it's
if
called
I'm making
Soldier
money
Girl
and more
Coffee.
Put
time,
a
I
nurse
would've
uniform
become
on her. That looks better. Yeah.
Yeah. I used to be a nurse. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay, stop.
See, stereotypes got to have some truth in them.
Anyway, now my train of thought's like out the window.
There you go, dumpster fire. Got to loosen you up a little bit.
So did it air
Hey,
the
just 'cause
Discovery
Nick
Channel
said-
thing?
Just because Nick said nurse, can I tell my stupid joke where he says,
Oh.
"That's a nice outfit you got, guy. These are OR scrubs." Oh, are they?
Oh, are they?
One of my
Bill Murray
favorites.
Oh my
chokes.
God.
Bill Murray chokes.
Yeah. Oh,
With the
are they?
dad jokes.
What scotch you drinking? Drinking scotch.
Look what you started, buddy.
Yeah, well, we're all
All he
dad.
wanted was weed.
We're all dad. We're all.
Turned into this. But yeah, so Discovery Channel, did it air? Did the commercial air?
Yeah, it was December 12th it was the season finale of Operation Treasures that's J-Dog Brands did. So
Nice.
it was December 12th and it was one time. So if you didn't tape it, then you'll never see it. But anyway,
Last year, 2021.
yeah, December
What did
12th.
that do for your business, though? Did that
Oh, yeah.
help you or?
It did. It helped a lot.
That's
That's awesome.
awesome.
I mean, I'm always like obsessed over Shopify where it shows the live view of the world. Like if
Yep.
anybody's on your website, you see the little dots, right? That shit was lit up for the first time. Like one time, so I'd see a little dot over here, maybe one or two, and then none most of the time. And then that commercial and it lit up.
Yeah, it's amazing what advertising can do, and then you wonder why Fortune 500 companies spend hundreds of millions of
Yeah.
dollars on
It
advertising.
wasn't cheap. I mean,
Yeah.
I can't even tell you how much money I spent last year on advertising.
Do it.
I lost track.
Yeah, let a future entrepreneur know that. Yeah, it sucks to write that check,
I
but
think I
you
lost
got to write
track.
that check.
I think I lost track at 50.
$50? That's not
$50.
bad.
I'll give you $50.
Yeah.
No, that's
It's
not a problem.
grand.
Like I'll Venmo it to you right now.
Okay, you can plug in 50
I
grand.
got $50. I got that.
I got that shit. Hell,
Carrie, how much?
hell, my pants are worth $50.
What type of coffee are you selling other than I mean, it's got CBD in it or whatever, but do you have
My suits are worth more than that.
do they have awesome
Decaf. No.
do they have awesome names like Death Brew or like
Not
Devil's
yet.
Kiss?
Not
Wait, buddy,
yet.
you mean you didn't check out the website before the guests came out?
Look, dude,
I mean, I send the stuff out 7 days in advance.
I'm in college and I have projects that I have to get done.
We could tell by
okay?
the dude in your hair. that
Hold
you're-
on, I gotta get a charger.
Oh, it's so
Hey,
Oh no.
the G curl is
I'm
thick, buddy.
You'll
Oh,
be
yeah.
back.
Like
Wait, what? Who did you
1940s.
who did you
Your hair
sponsor for
looks like
NASCAR?
snow.
I'll be back.
Oh, she gotta go.
Okay.
She gotta go unclog
I
the
gotta go get a
toilet.
charger.
I thought you said.
Well,
I
that's
thought
good,
you said.
but now we
I
get
thought
to
you said a
see
plunger.
Like that's actually a pretty sick logo though.
It's a sick.
I
Her
did that logo.
website is legit. So if you haven't went on her website,
Gone?
again, she's obviously shy. We're talking about her behind her back, and she obviously has trauma that she's dealing with, and having the courage to share these stories. So I hope people are listening and respecting it. But if you go on her website, you'll realize that she's got something. She's got a serious amount of talent, and whether it's networking with the right people to help her or whatever it is, right? So she's doing phenomenal. So please go buy Soldier Girl Coffee. Go buy it back today.
SoldierGirlCoffee.com.
Yeah.
And she has about 6 different kinds of coffee.
Do any of the
French vanilla,
proceeds go to the
Columbia.
Ukraine?
Yeah, is she donating to the Ukraine?
That's seems
Because
to
the
be
Gruntworks
the
Gruntworks
issue right
Nation
now.
is not happy about our Javelin shirt or our Wolverine shirt. Okay, first of all, the Wolverines are American. Okay, we just decided to put a Ukrainian flag behind them because that's what's hot.
Oh,
right
she
now.
also has merch.
Yeah, she got merch. Yeah, the stickers are cool
Mhm.
too. So all that stuff.
T-shirts.
Yep. And then Joshua Penny says, "Buddy's got cop hair, and it makes me uncomfortable." That's what it said. on that
hair.
shit. Yeah, you
He
have
called
cop
me-
hair,
he
buddy.
called me
Yeah.
Stevie Wonder.
Who said I have
Buddy,
copy?
aren't you out now? What's up
His
with
name
the
is
hair?
Joshua Penny, and he's
He
coming
called
in from
me Stevie
Alaska.
Wonder.
He's coming
Yeah,
from
I
Alaska.
thought I was-
Mom, meatloaf.
We
Tell him
want-
make- yeah, that's that. Buddy's actually in his mom's house right now. So
I am at my parents' house.
Hey, Mom. We
Yeah.
should reach out to Soldier Boy's people and see if we could do like a Soldier Girl remix.
Yeah. So Carrie, while
Put
while
that
you
up
were,
with the
I don't know if you were listening, Carrie, while we were
Frank,
gone,
that's
somebody
so cool.
commented that Buddy has cop hair and it makes him feel uncomfortable. So, but yeah, what NASCAR driver did you sponsor?
Cole Trickle.
Cole Trickle. Yeah. Russ Wheeler. Must have been on Putin's side.
Oh my God. Bailey Curry.
Who?
Bailey Curry. Mike Harmon Racing Team.
Okay. Yep. All right. Yeah. That's what's the Xfinity series now? Is that that's one? Okay. Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's pretty cool. That's awesome.
He said, "Buddy, it's like a rotund Mike Pence."
Hey, Joshua Petty, I need you to message us. Okay. I need you to message Veteran Trash Talk on Facebook. We're probably going to bring you on the show.
He said, "What's up with Stevie Wonder up there in the top left?" That's how he got my.
You are winning the chat thread for the first time in a while. So yeah, please message Veteran Trash Talk and let's get you on the show.
Because Mike Pence, I like your style.
You seem to have the gift. So
Harry, tell us about your website and what we can find on it.
So soldiergirlcoffeecompany.com. I find a lot of stuff on it. I need to clean it up because there's too many places to go on it.
Well, don't say that. Everybody was just looking at your website.
Yeah, it was really nice.
So my shop has like merchandise, t-shirts, hats, coffee, of course, coffee mugs, tumblers, say bitch fuel, stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's got like an attitude theme, and I've had people kind of, I have like, I want to be edgy, and I've had like this girl holding her boobs and stuff like that. And I've had some people attack me about, well, you had minimalist tea, so why are you putting this out there? And
right.
I mean,
that's what I was going to say. Who are the haters? Who are the haters?
Here's the thing that, like, when you left and we popped the logo up, I thought it was actually pretty cool that, like, if you're finding that person like attractive or sexy, it's because she's in a full uniform. Like, she's literally wearing overalls. Like,
right.
What are you gonna do? Like, there's nothing to like, just because she's a good-looking cartoon. It's a cartoon, first of all. People, okay, calm down.
Yeah,
and then with the bitch fuel, I can see where the haters on the feminist side come in, and then they're gonna be like, well, how are we supposed to, be able to be equal or whatever if you're calling us bitches in your coffee? And it's like, look,
some people don't like that, but
you'll only be equal if you allow.
If you have a sense of humor.
Here's the thing:
if you allow freedom of speech. If Joe's being a bitch, in my term definition of bitch, where he's being a little baby or something, I'm gonna call him a bitch, right? Now,
exactly.
And it is what
it
is now.
He's in a safe place. He's in El Paso.
Right, in a stereotype. Again, I'm
next to the dangerous border.
I'm 1-0 against Joe, so I'm always in a safe place with Joe. I'm undefeated against Joe. He actually has shoulder problems from the last time he squared off with me, but we don't need to.
Retirement president is gonna be a wrestling mat and a split. I'm gonna be like,
we don't have to hash
that's,
it out again.
Len, that's what his retirement present's gonna be. It's gonna be a wrestling mat and a singlet. I'm gonna be like, go change.
I was gonna ask, like,
5 minutes we go.
Yeah, I definitely need an army hat with a bunch of pins on it. That's
right.
And one thing I want to say is that
change.
What is a survivor of MST or a combat veteran, a woman combat veteran, supposed to look like? You know what I mean? Like, is it wrong to try to, is it wrong to have feminine qualities, but also be strong at the same time and be assertive? Okay, a woman's being assertive and then she's a bitch. You know what I mean? Like, so that's the thing about society this day. It's like they want a woman to be some way, but then another way. So I'm supposed to dress like a nun from head to toe. You know what I mean? So,
right. And then,
you're going to get haters like that.
And that's where the actual, when people get, we dealt with this with VT before with that little conniving person before, but like, when people want to throw out victim blaming, whenever somebody has a different opinion, but no, what Len just described was like victim blaming, to where if I dress a certain way,
right,
does that mean I should get raped? Like
I think a part of me came out. I think a part of me is I was sleeping, so I didn't do anything, and you don't really have to do
Right, but
anything.
why weren't you sleeping under the covers?
You know what I mean? You don't have to do anything. You don't have to make a move for it to happen to you, is what I'm saying. You know,
Yeah,
it
I
doesn't
think at
matter.
the end of the day, when it comes to like your logo or even that, you're never gonna make all of anybody happy. You're not gonna make all of the
I'm not
people
I'm
happy
okay with
all
that.
of the time. Like you've got
And
to everybody's got to get used to the fact that like it doesn't matter. Mother Teresa at this point could post something on TikTok and
She would get
people would be like,
haters.
you self-righteous whore. Like
Yeah.
I like
it's
it being
Mother
They probably call her a
Teresa.
Karen. She'd definitely be a Karen.
Yeah. Like, are you
What do you
kidding?
mean follow
There's-
the rules?
like, there are people like just like when we were talking about the Gruntwork shirts that we sell that have the Ukraine thing. You have to do work to find that shirt in order to be offended by that shirt. Like, and you have to spend a lot of time figuring out why you're offended so that you can articulate it kind of into a complaint email to us about how we're the worst money hungry douchebags ever because we have a shirt that has a Ukrainian flag on it.
Buddy's in his mom's house. Joe's in some place in North Carolina. Like,
Oh,
I'm in
can
my
we-
daughter's room doing a podcast. How much money do you think we're making from
Okay, first of all, can we
let's talk
pause
about
for a
it.
second?
I'm in my garage.
Can we pause for a second and just point out
I'm in
that,
my bedroom.
that Buddy is at his mom's house because he's a good son, not because he lives here? Like, I don't.
No, you
I have
live there,
my own
buddy.
house, everybody.
No, he
While
doesn't.
you were gone, Joshua Penny said you look like a rotund Mike Pence.
Hey,
Shut that damn dog up.
yeah, you know what? Tell Josh, well, you know what, Josh Penny, he can hear it. Tell Josh Penny he's just jealous because I have a thicker, more glorious beard than he does.
Well, we don't know. We'll bring him on. We'll put it to the test. So
Yeah, but
Josh,
do
you
you
better
dye-
start
but
growing
do
out
you
that
dye
beard.
it?
Otherwise, it's not. But yeah, go
I
to
did not.
soldiergirlcoffee.com. Go buy some of their coffee.
I want to mention that so I do put some codes out for some veteran nonprofits and stuff like that, or foundations. And if people use those codes when they check out, then it, 20% goes to the foundation or whatever. But still 20% goes to somewhere for a veteran program, even if they don't use those codes to check out. So
Oh, I think I wrote the wrong link.
What's
I'm
the
getting
code
yelled at
again?
by muffin fingers. So it's Soldier Girl Coffee Company.
I have a few codes. One of them,
Go over my helmet.
Operation 22.
Operation 22.
Yeah, and one's J-Dog. I have a lot of others, but I have to keep posting. They get lost in the post.
Maddie
so.
Gant says her coffee is amazing for sure, as well as her great heart and determination, constantly helping others. Yeah, Carrie, I know you probably don't think that this show, like that you weren't powerful on this show, but you were.
I've
right?
got a couple text messages about this show.
yeah,
A
you-
couple of my friends have been blocked from commenting for saying what most men have no idea how widespread MST is. And because she said the word men, she's blocked from commenting now.
on Veteran Trash Talk?
Yeah, Monica. So shout out Monica.
goodness.
Thanks for
Wait,
watching.
isn't she a moderator?
Yes, she's a moderator.
So how did she get
So
blocked?
she's texting me because she said men
So she got blocked by Facebook.
Oh,
by
You know
Facebook.
what?
Yeah.
Yeah, not
That-
by us. We didn't block her.
Yeah. No,
she
Facebook
texted
did
as
that.
well.
And,
Correction,
and
I
she
did block
said-
her.
Yeah, there, my buddy blocked you because you didn't have a
I
beard,
know.
Monica. Monica, grow a beard and you can comment again.
Yeah.
She says, please tell Carrie she has supporters everywhere.
Right. And then and even that, but like again, I guarantee you that there's somebody that is listening that you helped today. So again, we never know what the show is going to be like. I spend about 5 seconds on the script. Sometimes Buddy says he might make it, he might not. Dave,
Hey.
we don't know where he is.
I'll give you a heads up.
Buddy was in a suit in his mom's house with the Lord's Supper picture behind him when he first signed on. So I was like, what is going on? Right.
Asking for
Sometimes
meatloaf.
I'm help,
Right,
sometimes I
and-
just
and-
noise, you
Yeah,
know.
and then we got, then we have the Pacific Tita on, which, personally, and then we've all talked about it before that, when we started this and people start coming in wanting to help, wanting to do things, it's like Len is, I always say Len is the next superstar of VTT as long as they come out with the content, right? No, it's true. Like as long as you keep coming out with the content, it's hard to do. So it's like when you do that, like people are going to really get drawn to that, in my opinion. And I think, God, I mean, I hope I'm guessing this right. I would say that your company has done well because of who you are. So again,
yeah,
go ahead.
not
Sorry.
just that. I guess I will add in. I don't know about for everybody, but my experience, I've had to grind for almost a year straight, 12 to 16-hour days. I mean, I work my ass off.
Right. Nobody wants to ever acknowledge that when the people that are hating and whining, it's like, well, what did you do last week? I got drunk 3 nights out of the week. Okay.
People don't ever see the behind the scenes. It's a lot of work being an entrepreneur.
Yep. And all those guys that when you go hang out with, when I say successful people who have built up wealth in their life, not necessarily rich, but they have wealth, right? Their property, businesses, all kinds of stuff. They didn't sleep for 15, 20 years out of their life. Right. And then everybody sees them now where they're chilled, relaxed. They got a yacht, they got a nice car. It's like, do you realize what they did for 20 years? Like broke their ass off and then probably didn't even take a paycheck.
Yeah. Sam Medina said it very well to me. He said, people approach me and they think my life is so glamorous. Hey man, if you want to take it, just take the pain with you too. If you want to live my life, make sure you take the pain with you, and then you let me know how glamorous it really is.
If it all fell apart, if I went on a business, I've done what I set out to do at least for.
Oh, you win, Carrie. I think
I know that's not
you definitely came out on top.
Yeah. So what if you stop counting on advertising? Now here's the shameless plug. If you stop counting the money for your advertising, you can lose some of that count to Veteran Trash Talk, and then we sell for you, and then you won't even realize you spent it because you stopped counting.
I'm still building that.
Comes up with a winning idea.
Yeah, that's
actually when you come on my show, because I do Throat Punch
we
Mondays.
We do need a sponsor for Throat Punch Monday.
And we focus on women veterans. Women veterans is what we focus on. I got my show. I've been trying to get you on my show for the longest time. Yeah, I've been reaching out to you.
So now we have you live. We have you live on 3 different platforms where now you're gonna have to feel obligated to sponsor Len.
You gotta come to my show.
Kind of cornered you there. No big deal.
No,
I'm just kidding. You don't have to.
People get to me and I'm so fucking busy that I feel bad because if I don't write something down, I'll forget who it was. And then they're probably like, she's, you know what I mean? I'm just so busy that
again, we understand the hustle. And like I said, when you flaked out on us on the first time, I understood why. It's because,
he's a leg.
Because you're a leg. That has nothing to do with being busy. It's just that I saw that picture with the red beret. At first I was like, yes, the paratrooper. And then it's like,
oh man.
Yeah, it was just a medic.
Let's just cancel the show.
That part. I went back and
Joe convinced me to keep this show on. I was like, no,
it's too late.
But hey, Len, let's do a recap.
All right, guys. So recap of today's show.
AAR.
AAR today is a big day for our guys 3-5. One thing they made sure to say is celebrate your life, celebrate other people's life. Make sure you're conscious of the legacy that you live and legacy that you leave. Everybody dies, but not everybody lives, right? Another thing is, Carrie, you've been through so much and you use that as your why and your purpose to go on and start this successful company. I mean, I even said, I've seen you everywhere. I've seen you on other pages. You've done great. And the reason I think the reason why people support you is because you're authentic to yourself. So being yourself, being authentic and just pushing that out and helping others, people are drawn to you, and that's awesome. And so we thank you very much for that. And you're so brave for sharing your story. I mean, it's hard. It's not easy, Another thing I want to touch on that we didn't get to touch on, that it is Women's History Month. So we reflect on the, well,
I have 2 daughters. Every month is Women's History Month.
It wasn't too long. It wasn't too long ago when women were actually accepted into all roles into the military. So I think that was 2016. So that's still recent history. And today we're still fighting for equality and equal rights, right? So like you said, you joined as a cook, Carrie, and then like I think they didn't allow you to become like an airborne because they said you're anemic, which is BS, crock of shit. Excuse my language, use a beep, Christopher.
Yeah, Chris, beep it. Don't let that. Well, hey, Len,
the
it's
first
March.
curse word
It's
we've
March.
ever
It's Women's History Month. You can swear this
Right.
month, okay?
Okay.
Like,
Oh, well, thanks.
Hey, like
So-
the day
How many times
too.
I got
Like,
the F-bomb? Sorry.
it's okay. It's okay. Yeah, we don't worry.
But-
On YouTube, we put not for kids.
I wanted to highlight that and just thank you so much for sharing your story. That's so brave. You're doing great things with Soldier Girl Coffee, sponsoring people from NASCAR and going on Discovery Channel. That's pretty awesome. So that's about it. I think that's the good AR right there, Nick.
Yeah, there it is. Thank you, Len, for coming on. Again, if Len does one live show a month and then one recorded show. So is it the first and third Wednesday? First and third Monday.
First and third Monday. The first Monday is recorded, and then the third Monday is live.
And you picked up VTT's mental health warrior, Clifford
Yes.
Bauman. Now, Clifford, if you're watching, okay, I see what you're doing. Okay, you're trying to make yourself more popular, right? And you're trying to get on as many shows as you can. No, but that's the idea. For all you watching that are
hustle.
hating on us, we hope that everybody that comes on this show just elevates, right? And goes on and on and on and on. And like we told our last guest, the Ultimate Sacrifice Foundation, those guys, when they came on, you know, I told them, I go, when you come on the show, you're going to leave feeling really good, right? Like it's a great time. And again, we're all warriors. Len was a submariner, whether she wants to say she was or not. That or like a F-18 pilot, or she flagged the F-18s on the aircraft carrier.
All of the above. I did everything. All of it.
That's our narrative.
Yeah, she's actually a nuclear physicist in the Navy. So like, let's just tell it how it is.
See,
but-
for us, having sea legs is actually like a badge of honor. I got sea legs, so.
I've told
And I'm
this.
salty.
Yeah,
need
I've
all
told.
kinds of legs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, there's all kinds of legs here
I
today.
know.
Oh, gross.
I
We
see at
wasted-
least one leg on this show.
Yeah, we wasted an hour. No,
Oh
Carrie, it was 100% a pleasure to have you on. And again, guys, Soldier Girl Coffee Company.com. Right? Did I say that right, Carrie? She's muted. Soldier, so just not blink twice if unique.
Bark twice. If
I
you're
think
upset,
that's
Dave.
right.
Yeah. So soldiergirlcoffee.com. Soldier
No,
Girl Coffee Company.
Company.com.
Right. Okay, that's a hard one to say when you've been drinking whiskey at noon. All right. Soldier Girl Coffee.
You got to drink that box wine.
Yeah, there you go. That Kirkland box wine. Well, there's two ways to flex nowadays. One is having a full gas tank, and the other one is to have a Kirkland membership card. So if you got one of those two things, you have made it.
Exclusive.
Right, so
You have access to the entire store.
exactly. Well, no, because then you're gonna discount, right? So if you actually go to a normal gas station and fill up, you're flexing, right? So it costs a lot of money. Anyways, go to shop.veterantrashtalk.com and go to gruntworksclothing.com. And then if you want to check out our sponsors, all right, go to 10th Mountain Bourbon and put in the code VTT and get yourself a discount. And then Veterans Mortgage Source with Zach Farkas. We do a show every first Wednesday of the month, and he explains the interest rates and all kinds of stuff. And he got out as a captain, and I vouch for him. So again, if he steers you in any wrong direction, you just message the Big Earl, and I'll go smack him around. But I guarantee you, he's not going to give you any wrong information. Guarantee it. So hey, pleasure hanging out with you guys on Saturday. Big fights tonight. If you didn't watch our fight show this morning, it's on every podcast platform currently, and you can also go rewatch the show. We brought on Brandon K MMA. All right, the hippie stoner from LA that he gets paid a lot more money than us to pick fights. So hopefully he can rub off on us because we pick better than he does. So it was a great show. So watch it. And then Buddy, appreciate you stopping by. Even though you're at your mom's house, you moved in. Mom, man.
Meatloaf.
And then of course,
They're talking about me all the time.
Yeah,
Bully.
yeah. She just texted me. She's like, leave my son alone. He's a war hero. All right. Well,
I'll tell you what, my mom is she's short of stature, but she'll grab you up in a heartbeat. Trust me.
Man.
My head looked like Joe's until I was like, before I joined the Army, my head looked like Joe's, and it was because my mom was only like 4'10", 4'9", but she would reach up and grab our hair and pull us down and be like, if you don't good story, not a huge deal.
Sorry. And then again, check out Throat Punch Mondays with Len. All right, it's a great show. I mean, I upload them and watch every single one of them. They're phenomenal. So give them a check and give them a subscribe and whatever. And maybe they'll be sponsored by Soldier Girl Coffee next month. Who knows? Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Dave, we don't know where you are. If you're in the Ukraine fighting for the Russians, it wouldn't surprise us. If you're in Ukraine, you don't speak Ukrainian, right? So just leave. Go back to Germany. All right. Maybe go help out with the refugees in Poland. Not quite sure what you're doing. Other than that, we will see you guys next week. Have a great Saturday.